Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday morning Survivor Series. I'm going to play my intro here as soon as I get to it.
I just want him to catch a mess, through the pain, through the hurt. Just want him to catch a mess, keep on hustling, putting work. Just want him to catch a mess, stand tall and fight back. Let him know you ain't gotta live like that. Catch a mess, through the pain, through the hurt. Just want him to catch a mess, keep on hustling, putting work. Just want him to catch a mess, stand tall and fight back. Let him know you ain't gotta live like that.
I look around like where the good times at. I just wanna bring the good times back. And if the good die young, why am I still alive? Maybe I deserve that fact. And the stars only shine when the dark come. Got me thinking about where I got my start from. We the new breed, who are we? We the lost ones. We the generation that embrace it like an art form. Here we go. And if we sitting in a tight spot, then you in the right spot. Man, I swear to God, I've been there. One shot like stop. Shot I lost a lot of homies that were here and they vanished in the thin air. Yeah, it's like a roll of the dice. Pay the ultimate price. So do you stand up and fight? Do you throw in the towel and say, I'm out or stand tall and prepare for the fight of your life? See me, I still battle with a
Good morning, everybody, from the Pestigo River Center in Pruvit, Wisconsin. I'm on site with my friend Steffi Michelson. She's a dear friend to me. She's also a recovery coach, interventionist, addiction professional, and she's a mentor and a coach to me as well. I'm a coach, but she coaches me, and we kind of coach each other. It's how this thing works. But I want to welcome everyone to the Survivor Series. I'm in the middle of rebranding the Survivor Series. My No More Heroin page has been shadow banned for about 2 years, so I'm kind of moving out of the quote unquote recovery box more into a lifestyle theme, And this testimonial series is about empowering people. So there's going to be influential people with a lot of knowledge and experience you'll see on my show. And my guest today is James Rice, who's a very successful entrepreneur. He's a finance advisor, he's a life coach, he's a family development specialist, and he's also one of the founders of Pruvit. And we are powered here by Pruvit ketones. If you don't know, hit us up. We'll tell you about it. And we're sponsored by my nonprofit, No More Heroin. So without further ado, I want to bring on James, and I'm going to throw up one of his quotes that I really, really like. Good morning, James.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. It's good to see you, my brother. Thank you for taking the time to jump on with us. This is something that I would like to continue doing with you, because this is like a therapy session or a consultation for me as well. And I need to hear what you have to say. And I'm going to throw up this quote that really caught my eye.
Appreciate it.
This is James Rice's quote: "You will learn more hearing how someone overcame failure than you will hearing about their success." And I really truly believe that to be true, because people relate to the struggle. They relate to needing hope and inspiration, motivation, knowledge. I think we're all on a knowledge-seeking experience. And to have you on as our guest and have you as a friend and mentor, it means a lot to both of us, in the business aspect and in life in general. So if you would, James, please tell us where you're coming from and what your background is, and then we'll jump into our topic.
Cool. I'm going to step all the way back to where I was raised. First of all, appreciate you having me on. And I will say, if I had a disclaimer, it'd be that, hey, I'm not jumping on trying to be a guru. You guys can all decide whether, you like what we're sharing, you like what we're doing, and then jump on board. If not, no harm, no foul. I'm not looking for likes. I'm not looking for views. I'm doing just like Higgy said. I'm just, once upon a time, I've done just about everything wrong and stupid. And from that, I had two choices. I either went, backwards, down, and stayed there and became a victim, or I pondered and thought to myself, how the heck am I going to get to where that person is that I want to be like? And I pursued it. There you go. I didn't want to say I learned it, or I pursued it. I shut up and listened, and then I did what they told me. And it was that simple. That being said, so believe it or not, if I take it back, I love to tell people that I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Iowa. Iowa roots, love it. Town of 1,200 people. Holy cow. Went to the University of Iowa. My dorm had more people in it, over more than 1,200 people. More people in than my hometown did it. I was lost. I was completely lost. In fact, and you're wondering, I wonder how lost he was. B, a C, and 2 Fs my first semester. Woo! Crushing it.
Killing it.
Killed it. It's great. And it made the dean's list, the one that says if you do it again, you're out. Went home, got a pep talk from my father. He said, you know what? No use going back. Oh, wow. Thanks, Dad. I mean, wow. Way to get in the game, get up off the canvas. No, why don't you just stay down? No use going back. I said, you know what, Dad? Mr. actually said, I'll never forget it. Dad, you know what? Let's not even discuss it. You hate me, and I hate you. Let's just not even talk about it. Wow. That phone hung up, and I think I talked to him 2 years later or 3 or something like that. Anyway, back into school, smoked less weed, watched less A-Team reruns.
The A-Team reference again.
That's what I was doing. You know what I mean? When you're like, oh, crap. I mean, I'm way behind in this engineering calc class. So this science is completely missing me. I'm lost. I was lost.
I get it.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The easy thing is to smoke more weed and watch the A-Team more. That's easy.
It's easy.
Well, I knew that at the end of the day, I probably didn't want to, sit around with my friends and talk about, the last A-Team. So what I do, it was super simple, really. I mean, what do you do? I had to retake a couple classes. I took a couple classes over, right? I said, okay, I'll head in this direction and, search my soul a little bit, start hanging out with people who were meeting for study groups. And wow, lo and behold, I ended up with a degree in finance. So I also wasn't even sure what I wanted to do. I'm going to tell you, I landed in finance because they said accounting was hard. Marketing and management was for people who didn't know what they wanted to do. In fact, this is funny, I think. I really wanted to be a coach or a teacher, but mostly a coach, a sports coach. But my dad wouldn't let that. He wouldn't hear of that because they didn't make enough money. Mm-hmm. So I think it's funny and ironic today that all I do is coach and it made a few $1 million. I think that's hilarious, really, right? So my point is just, if a person took a nugget, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be successful and monetize whatever you want to do. You just have to do it and find out how to monetize it. All that being said, also in college, it's funny, I went to college at probably 100 and less than 60 pounds. That is no way to meet chicks, just so you know, okay? 5 foot something and less than 160. I did have a pretty sweet Scott Baio-like hairdo. Thank you. See, you gotta have these Zooms. If anyone on here is under 40, 45, they're like, I have no idea what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But if you're at our age, especially I'm 57, then you're like, that's some funny stuff because I did that too. But that could only get you so far because the guys who are really meeting chicks, I'll be frank with you, had muscles. Mm-hmm. So I thought I need to get some of those. So
me too.
What I do? The muscle guy said, oh, go to that gym. Went to the gym, walked in. I can still remember murals on the wall. The dude at the front desk, or female, I don't know to this day which it was, 6'2", 275 pounds. I'm like, I want to look just like you. Sure you do, dumb. Sure you do, scrawny guy. Here, do this. Do this. And I went to the drugstore and got a couple Muscle and Fitness and a Flex magazine. So here's a funny piece to throw in. We're teaching a little bit now. It's like, I don't think I can say it. You know what? If that rude dipshit could do it, and it was science-based, and scientifically it said you need to do these things and you'll get muscles, I was an idiot. I just went 6 days a week, like they said. The weights got lighter, then I raised them. The weights got lighter, I raised them. The weights got lighter, I raised them. And lo and behold, I started putting some muscle on. And, just kept going. So, and I will tell you this, I never wanted a job. I never wanted to work for a Fortune 500 company, the Big Five, get a blue suit, a black suit, a travel card. All that was impressive. All I ever wanted to do was be self-employed, write my own paycheck, no boundaries, no limits, no ceiling. And I always dreamt of starting something from scratch that no one had ever seen before. My own, like Nike, like something like that.
Your own brand.
So I ended up in San Diego, not for the waves, not for the chicks, not for the sunshine. I ended up in San Diego because I thought I needed to go to a city. My degree's in finance. It's 1988. And so I jumped in my car, packed my clothes, and headed west because San Diego was the only place I had family. I didn't come for anything other than to get to a city so I could have a bigger platform to, launch something.
Grow and build.
So that's where I ended up, and I will tell you, I landed in the fitness industry really because, quite frankly, I had taken in 1986. My girlfriend was looking for a gym. I took her out to the Floofy gym. It had marble entryway, beautiful plants out on the floor. Everyone had these uniforms on. I had never even seen one like that. The gym I worked out in the summertime, if you could walk your girlfriend into that gym and she didn't puke from the smell,
right?
You knew you had a winner. Because it was in Iowa in the summertime, 99 degrees and 99% humidity. If she didn't puke and die, you knew you had a winner. So the funny thing is, I was down at the bars, the downtown, the night after that, showing my girlfriend the Floofy gym, the Globo gym or whatever it's called, like from dodgeball or whatever. And or not, anyway, whatever show it was. And the guy behind me was the manager at the gym. He goes, "Oh, hey, good to see you again." He goes, "What do you do? What are you up to?" "Oh, I'm down here, staying down here this summer. I'm looking for a job." He says, "I might have something for you." I said, "Okay." And I started doing the box systems where you take the boxes, you send them out at the businesses and you can draw to win something.
Yeah.
Win like a free visit. So that's how I got started in health and fitness. And the cool thing was it was commission. I got paid for everyone who came into the gym. And I got paid a little more if they joined. So I guarantee you, if I got you on the phone, you were coming into that gym. Is it free? Is it free? Yes. Will you guarantee results? Yes. Do they allow dogs? Yes. Come on in. Come on in. But you know what I love? The point was really this. I knew if I got them in the gym, I could possibly change their life. I knew that if they're out there doing it alone, they weren't getting it done. And I didn't care if I needed to, quote, quote, trick them a little bit to get them in church, or in this case, get them in the gym. I knew it could do it. And again, I was super blessed because my sales manager and my exercise manager both taught me the basic fundamental building blocks of fitness, the basic fundamental building blocks of sales. So you're going to always hear me keep coming back to this, which is, where do you want to be? Well, I want to be here. And Higgy and I already ran into this. Great. Then shut up and ask somebody who's already been there. Ask somebody who's doing it and follow them. And now someone will say, well, there's so many opinions. Great. Ask 5 big dudes with muscle. Ask 5 people who have 5 or 10 years in recovery. Ask 5 people who are making $500,000 or $250,000 a year. Ask 5 or 10 people who are doing whatever.
Yeah, there's no sense in reinventing the wheel, right?
There really, really isn't, because people had muscles 30 years ago. People have muscles now. Okay, there's no change. You don't need to do anything different. Recovery was 30 years ago. Recovery's now. Like, things haven't changed. It's people getting confused because they're not spending time with just in the basic, the foundational, fundamental pieces that get you where you want to go.
And let's transition into
the
topic from here. Success and failure can be found in our daily routine. I find that to be a very powerful and relevant statement in my life, because I establish routines and then I deviate. I think I got to do something different. Back to the fundamentals. What are your thoughts on that, and what are parts of your daily routine that you do day in and day out that ensure that you're going to be motivated going forward through the day.
Yeah, so I love that. So, I firmly believe you've got to start your day early enough so you can go, where do I want to be? Who do I want to serve? What does my house want to look like? What kind of man, what kind of father, what kind of grandpa do I want to be?
Right.
And if you have to get up 15 minutes early to do that, people, and you're not willing to, there's your problem right there. You're not, because if you get up in the morning and you're chasing your tail immediately, slamming breakfast, slamming coffee, slamming your drive, you're going to slam your whole day.
Right.
That's not in control. So you've got to set who the heck do you really want to be. And that cool thing about that is you then got to even know, people, you've got to be willing to see what are the traps that I've fallen into and stay away. No 18 reruns. I'm not calling that dipshit. I'm not reading this. I'm not going to watch that on the way. I'm not going to do that at break time. You've got to not only decide what are you going to do, Higgy, you've got to decide what am I not going to do.
Right.
Get rid of that hooker's phone number. I'm telling you guys, get rid of her phone number or his phone number. Get rid of it. Get rid of the People magazine, the Inquirer. Get rid of it. So that routine for me sets my day. And if someone says they don't have time, go, you know what? I'll give you 10 grand if you get up 30 minutes earlier every day. Oh yeah. Everyone gets that.
Money motivated for sure.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't mean the money, people. It's really the value motivated. You know what I mean? If I guaranteed you something you wanted by getting up 30 minutes early, you'd do it. The difference between myself and others is I believe that if I do it, I'm going to get it. I don't have to get it and then I'm going to do it. I believe if I do it, I'm going to get it. Maybe not right now, this week, this month, but I'm going to get it. So you can see how firmly I believe in getting my day started right with what am I going to feed my brain with? Who do I want to be? And how am I going to get it?
Do you avoid your phone first thing in the morning?
You know, that's funny you mentioned that. First of all, easy answer is no. And I've heard people say, this is a funny thing. I will say this. I love this. People will say what you need to do and not do. I completely disagree with that. Whatever that, you need to find out. This is a funny thing. Great point. You need to find out what works for you. Meaning, like, I'm not all, okay, I will say, no, I'm not all over my phone. But I will look to see if there's a message. Maybe there's something important. Something needs to be returned. And believe it or not, I check the weather. But that's it. That is really it. No, I'm not on my phone. I'm not checking my timeline. So do I avoid it? I guess you could say I do. Because mine is, you know, believe it or not, brush my teeth, get the windows closed in the house. Doesn't sound like that big a deal. Do my reading, say my prayers, get out my rice and shine. Okay. I will not be on my phone with my personal life and my work life before I said my prayers. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. That I don't want to belabor that. There's no way I'm going to deal with my personal life and my world life before I deal with my prayer life. No way.
Gotcha.
Will I check to see if there's an emergency? Probably, or the weather. Then that's it. Then you're spot on. Then I'm not on the phone. But it's not because, I mean, it's because it's how I feel. It's not where I start my day. My day is going to start up there.
Okay.
Setting your intentions.
Setting my intention. So I guess you could say, yes, I'm not on my phone. I do my rice and shine, my happy birthdays, my phone, my work comes after my intentions and my prayer, most definitely.
What is your rice and shine?
So here's the funny thing that I like to do, without going into much detail, is the tail doesn't wag the dog wags the tail. The meaning, the things that I want to touch, the people I want to check in with, the people that I hope to do something, I need to shake their tail first. So I want everyone to get up in the morning and rise and shine. Well, even better than that, I think they should rice. In case you people aren't remember, see the last name, gang, James Rice. Again, I know Steffi got it, but for the rest of you. So we're going to rice and shine. We're going to rice up and have an amazing day. So I just like to send out a quick food for thought, a positive, intention setting, quote, something to think about that will just make your day just a little bit better, just a little bit better. And so that's my rise and shine. And what I'm really looking for, that's just a good morning to people. I'm also looking to see who gives me a little feedback, or who wants to chat or something like that. So it's a way for me to say good morning to my crew. It's also a way for me to see if there's somebody out there who wants to talk shop and make something happen today.
Do you have a set workout time as well?
Yeah, my workout time, which is part of my work. That's a funny thing for people. Your work out should be part of your work day. Mine's at 10 a.m. Why? Because my training partner for the last 30 years, he's an IFBB pro. He's a professional, has his pro card bodybuilder. If his health holds up, he'll be competing in the Mr. Olympia. He's huge.
Nice.
So, and quite frankly, he works out at 10, so I work out at 10. If he changed the time, I try to change my time, quite frankly, because like I said, with everything I do, in every area of my life, faith, fitness, family, friendships, and finances, my fundamentals, I'm going to be the least in every one of those. So he's the expert. He's the leader, far more accomplished than me. I'm following him. I'm following his lead. So yes, 10 o'clock every day.
Do you find that working out with a partner benefits you more than working out solo?
Always. You got to have a partner in your hobbies. You got to have a partner in your work. You got to have a partner in your faith. You got to have a partner in your recovery. You got to have a partner in. Everything's better with a partner. More accountability, better intensity, maybe a new idea or two. It makes it more fun. Everything's better with a partner.
And they push you a little more, right?
That's like I said, your accountability, your intensity, your frequency, everything goes up. And if everything goes up, just think about that a little bit. That's a lot, right? It's funny. You look at a 5-gallon pail of water. That's a pail of water. No, it's not. It's a whole bunch of drips that hit that pail. So the more I can do a little bit every day, it adds up. You got to have you don't have to, but you got to have a partner.
Absolutely. So there, Samantha posed the question, how did you find God?
Oh, I love to tell that story, and it's an easy one. So first of all, you're going to hear me talk a lot about logic. Life's a blend of logic and emotion, inside game and outside game, X's and O's, and then your emotions, okay? So what happened was, logically, I just was pretty confident I was going to die someday. Cool. So if you're going to die someday, what's going to happen after? Okay, well, so just like anything else, like my fitness, I told you, like my college, I decided to study it. And I went to every church, Googled everything, talked to every person, read a book called So What's the Difference? Now, I will admit that book is written from a contemporary Christian Bible-based author, I believe. But I read there you go. I read So What's the Difference? And I also, I had good friends that I respected that were Mormon, good friends I respected that were Jehovah's Witness, grew up Catholic. I studied it. And I started with, this is it, logically, believe it or not, to me, I believed there was a creator. And I believe that most likely, notice I'm wading into this, that most likely the God of the Bible was the creator and was the God that I should follow. So that was the faith that I just logically started pursuing, because if I checked them all out, that's what I felt like, and it wasn't a prayer that came to me. I'm just saying logically I sorted it out. There is a creator, and I do not believe the other faiths held the credibility that the Bible did, based on, I tell you what, a big one, just based on the prophecies of the Old Testament, and then what came true, and just what I could see even in a simple day. So that's what I pursued logically, was the God of the Bible. And then it just, If that makes sense. I mean, it kind of just grew into a belief that I just watched it and saw it, and it just made sense. I mean, if that helps.
Yeah, was there evidence in your life that you couldn't deny that there was a creator or?
Well, let's go with this one. The evidence that I'm here. People, let's ponder this a little bit. Let's get a headache. Ponder this. Let's get a headache together. This is crazy. Ponder this. The fact that we're even here. Does that blow your mind? Think about it, people. We know where I know where I started from, kind of an egg and a sperm. I know where this computer, I know where this phone started from. Everything was nothing. You put pieces together. The fact that we're even here, that there's a world, is not even possible. It's not possible. There has to be a starting. There has to be a starting point. How can there be? You know what I mean? It's just there's not even a starting point, people. That's not even humanly possible. That we're here, because how did it all start? How can it even be? That makes no sense. When it makes no sense, then I just personally had to give up and go, shoot, it's got to be way beyond me. I mean, does that make sense to you guys, that it's not even possible we're here because everything starts somewhere? And so how can this God or this world even be here?
That's faith.
How did it start? You know what I mean? It has to have a starting point. Well, then that's cool. How did that start? Oh, that's cool. How did that start? It's fucking crazy. So that made me think that I was pretty sure that there's something going on that's way beyond and above than you want to see. Is it trying to speak to us? Is there a source? And I just felt like through the stories in the Bible that God, the Bible, and Jesus was the way to pursue. And then again, in my life, well, that's an interesting piece, because you have choices. That's actually a great point. You have choices in your life to say, what do you see? Well, now this is just me. I see opportunity in everything now. It doesn't matter to me what happens. What matters is what do I love you. Exactly, Mark. It's crazy. So I just see opportunity in everything. You can hit a curveball or a fastball out of the park. That's all you need to know. Really simple. You can strike out on a curveball or a fastball, and either one can get hit out of the park. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So since that can happen, that means that a rainy day or a sunny day, or a person who doesn't join my business or does join my business or wants to be it's up to me to go, I got it, and how can I hit it out of the park? And once you realize that and believe it, then every day looks different.
It's beautiful, man. Checking the comments here real quick. Good morning, everyone. What I really love about what you have to say is, you're taking to social media. Financially, you don't need to do any of this, but you choose to give back and to pour into other people to help them find and add value to their life. I mean,
let's hit that real quick.
Volumes of who you are as a man today, a man of God, or whatever.
Well, that's a great point. I tell people what I am and who I am and what I am. I'm like, I can tell you what I want to be. I want to be a sharer. That's really it. Okay. And then here's the piece on that real quick. I just think it's human nature. I mean, people, come on, listen a little bit. Someone shared with you and you're not going to share it?
Right.
That's just, how selfish can you be? Someone shared a restaurant, you share it, a movie, you share it. You got to share everything. Having muscles is cool. Helping someone get muscles is far cooler. Having some money is cool. Taking a single mom, taking a family and add 500, 1,000, 2,000 bucks to their budget, nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
Giving people back their self-esteem, unbelievable. I just think it's hilarious when people are working for their trophies and their medals and their. Guys, get off it. It's a worthless pursuit. Worthless. I mean, if you really want to build your ego up and be the dude, get a troop of others, you know, I mean, if that's what you want to do it for, get a troop of others and lift them all up. That's where it's at. That's where it's at, I think.
I agree. I think at the end of our days, being able to look back and know that we've made a difference in the world or in our families' lives or people that mean something to us, to die empty. You know, we were on this journey to share our experiences and our strengths.
Amen.
Our
Leave it
hopes.
all in the field.
It's like you give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish and you feed him for life.
You're spot on. And that's like people, the funny thing is the only reason someone doesn't want to do that is because they're selfish and self-absorbed.
Yeah, or insecure and afraid that somebody else is going to climb above them.
Amen. It's unbelievably satisfying.
Elena, it's a privilege to share this miraculous testimony to the world. My husband divorced me 4 months back, and I have been filled with remorse for I didn't know what to do to attend issues with my husband. I searched for help on the internet.
This is spam.
That's a spam. Bye. Go away, troll.
Well, at least they're trying.
That was something relevant.
Now I'll teach you to put stuff up before you read it first.
So back to the morning routine. Do you drink ketones in the morning?
Not every morning. I tell you a piece. Like say yes. I always drink them in the afternoon, about 1 or 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a small dose in the morning and a larger dose, a full dose in the afternoon.
Okay.
But
why did you jump on board with the concept of the Pruvit ketones?
yeah, that's easy. That's super easy. So I'll be frank with this. I was not looking for ketones. I was looking for a brand new product that I could be the first to take to the world. Okay. So I was watching Michael Rutherford, my business mentor, and his mentor, my friend, Brian Underwood, for about the last 8 or 10 years, following them, collaborating, discussing, involved, because I knew they had skills. I knew they had ambitions. I knew they had the financing. So again, you're going to hear this common thread. I'm always hanging out with, collaborating with people who are doing anything bigger and better than me. That's all I do. And then I just shut up and I go to work. So
and I'm learning that lesson as well.
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, it's huge. I know I'm doing the talking here, but mostly I'm talking to myself, believe it or not, because I'm feeding myself. But it's follow those who are doing anything at a higher level. That being said, when they just simply said to me, hey, we think we have our newest product. It's a health and fitness product. You're the health and fitness guy. Will you come check it out? That was easy. Of course I will.
7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago. Because to me, any of my friends that say, hey, you've got some expertise, will you check this out for me? I'm going to give it a little look because we're friends. Hey, you know, we're doing this. Are you interested? You know, will you take a quick look at it? Of course I will. So I went to the meeting. And there were doctors there who had no interest in making money. They were PhDs. They were trying to help people. So, and they worked with the Department of Defense. So that was very validating. They had a lot of credibility. Okay. They're doctors trying to help, no monetary gain for them. And then I also knew it was bioidentical. It's from your body, like estrogen, like testosterone. They're bioidentical copies. So based on my knowledge of that term and experience, I knew they were going to work, or I believed they were going to work. So we had the perfect storm. People who had made money, launched products before, ambitious, ready to go, beginning, bioidentical, doctors involved. Okay. And then all of that. So that was a perfect storm for me.
Yeah. And then the product works, right?
For sure. And that part is funny because that was simple. I just called my bros, my female friends, and said, hey, new product. I got to get some guinea pigs. Check this out with me. Will you check it out? Of course they said yes. We're friends. You know? So my difference between myself and everybody else is I just told 50, 100 people immediately and said, hey, we're launching a brand new product. I think we make some money. Are you interested? Well, all my ambitious friends said, yeah, I'll take a look at it. And by the same token, I just said, hey, new product's out. I think it'll help us in the gym. I'm going to check it out. Want to check it out with me? They all said, sure, I'll check it out. Some did it, some didn't.
Right.
Fitness sells, and this is so much bigger than that.
Pardon?
I said fitness sells, and this is so much bigger than that.
Well, yeah, and funny, everything sells to somebody, and fitness is huge. That's one thing I love about the industry, because whether you're a kid or a senior citizen, any ethnicity, any social economic position, there's nobody that isn't interested in a little bit of energy, feeling better, looking a little bit better. All you have to do is say to them, hey, I think I can help you. Are you willing to take a look at it? I think this might work based on what I read and saw. Are you willing to take a quick look at it? That's all you do.
That's it. And then share your journey. I like my audience to learn more about Pruvit ketones and the value and the fact that you're one of the founding members of the company speaks volumes for the product and the community overall, because community is a large part of this for me. I need hope. I need inspiration. I need motivation. I need people that are unselfish with their knowledge and that want to see me successful, and that they look at my success as like a part of theirs. And you're one of those people. I truly appreciate that.
I appreciate that. And, as far as I'm concerned, we were built for fellowship. We were built for community. Like Steffi said, people that push away from it, I don't need it. That's just generally insecurities. Okay. And being a million people that say they don't need it. They don't need the rah-rah. They don't need the help. Once they get into it, see this full of love and non-judgment, we're not wearing black robes, then they're like, oh, wow, this is cool. So, it's just having a heart and even an offering that says, hey, I can show you what's worked for me. Okay. And I'll share it with you. If it works for you, I think that'd be great. I'd love to do it with you. If not, no harm, no foul. I'm not going to love you any different.
Absolutely.
And this community is they're just the way they reach out and love people, period. It's not about self. It's about selflessness. There's not a time that I've sent a message to someone and not gotten an immediate or as soon as you can answer, and not a feeling of I'm bothering someone either.
Yeah, I love hearing you say that. And again, it's just a mindset. I mean, that's just, everybody, Turtle didn't get to the top of the fence post itself. I didn't get to where I'm at by myself. And so I just would feel it's unfair for me not to share. And again, the business growth, the feeling of accomplishment growth that occurs when you're sharing and helping with people, again, is far greater than just doing it for yourself. It's just, it just makes sense.
Why one of the reasons, besides it's a great product, I want to help people in the best way possible. And I've run myself into burnout so many times working in the treatment industry and doing my social media stuff, running multiple companies, and I just run myself into the ground. And this product is great for my recovery because it gives me mental focus and clarity, and the brain fog goes away. And when your brain is in that state, you can make better decisions, and your options look more clear and concise when your emotions are balanced, and your emotions, and if you have a mental illness or whatever, it just makes things more manageable. And the fact that it puts you into ketosis. I had a lot of body fat when I started. I'm 55 pounds down now, and I feel great. I feel like a young kid again. I always feel like a young kid though.
But you're hitting lots of nails on the head. You got to stay childlike. You got to cruise out every day, look for a pile of horse shit, look underneath it, and believe there's going to be a pony. People may think there's not. It's a waste of time. But my whole life has been turning over piles of horse shit, believing there was going to be a pony. And that led me to my faith, my fitness, the success that I've had in things, the worldly pursuits, to me just validate that my childlike enthusiasm is correct. Right. Another piece you talked about the childlike. You've got to like you hit a couple of the nails on the head that I wish. That's one reason I like to interrupt, because when you hit them, I gotta mention them, otherwise I'll forget them. But childlike is huge. The needing and getting the community around you, and then putting that into action is huge. You've got to seek that community and then put action. I know another thing you're going to say that you said is talking about burnout. This is a piece I used to preach. I still preach to the A personalities, the doers, the perfectionists, the self-starters, whatever they call themselves. Recovery and rest is just as vital as going. You cannot go mentally or physically in work or play harder than you recover and rest. It's simply a fact.
Right.
So you get these people who say, I'm competitive, I'm a perfectionist, I'm an A-type personality. Okay, dipshit. That's what I like to call them.
Are they wrong?
Thanks.
Are they wrong?
Completely wrong, because a foundational component of hanging and banging and making stuff happen is rest and recovery.
There's Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
What up, Nicole?
Hey, sis.
Rest and recovery, hydration, proper sleep have got to be a component of your being a beast. Okay.
Yes.
And I tell people,
Pour from an empty cup.
if you've got, amen. If you've got skills and you've got knowledge and you've got ambition, people, the challenge is going to be the number of opportunities that are bouncing in your brain, bouncing in your heart, and coming at you. You cannot, I don't care who you are, there's only so many balls you can juggle. Okay. Now, I will say this, one thing I've done is Pruvit's my bread and butter. Pruvit's my income. It's my golden goose. Now I have a social media team member. So that gave me more bandwidth. I have a friend who's writing the book. Okay. I manage that. I manage the social media. And now we're looking into, I don't want to even talk about it because I don't want to spill the beans. We got another avenue I'm going to work on, and I'm going to hire somebody to do that. I cannot bang on all of it myself. It's not possible.
Sure.
You will burn out. You've got to stay. I don't even going to use the word balance, but you have got to rest and recover.
And learn how to delegate things, correct?
Yeah, that's definitely a sign of a good leader, because if you feel you have to do everything yourself in order for it to be done right, you just don't have time to get it done.
What are you saying?
You already know.
I mean, maybe I was lucky. I grew up in my dad's family-run business, amazing, super, uber successful. And no doubt about it, he was the hardest worker, the sharpest, the best at all of it. But he also knew, like Ray Kroc knew, okay, I know I flip the best burgers and make the most milkshakes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have thousands of stores. I'm going to fill it with dipshits. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to fill it with people who want to flip burgers. And we're going to make mistakes every day. We're going to screw up burgers every day. But you know what? I'm going to have so many of them that I'm going to make a fortune. That's what I want to do. I'm not worried about mistakes. In fact, I can't wait till my customer service has 100 phone calls every day because all the stuff that's going wrong because we're doing so much stuff. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with the mistakes. That's part of the process.
Okay, so say there's someone watching today that just can't get out of their own way. What are some bullet points that you would give them to work on to start making progress, start putting one step in front of the other? Well, what would you say to someone that says, I just can't get out of my own way. I just can't get out of myself. I don't know where to start.
Cool. Couple thoughts real quick.
It may be a little much this morning.
No, it's not at all. A couple thoughts go real quick. Well, here's one thing I would tell a person. If you believe that you can't get out of your way,
You won't.
you're fucked.
If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right. Yeah.
So first thing you need to realize is that you're not getting out of your way, but you can. You may not be getting out of your way, but you can. And here's one thing I'll use with people. Because they'll go, man, I just can't commit to it. I just can't stay committed. I'm just not the type of person that can commit to something. I go, oh, that's cool. I understand. So first of all, I set them up by agreeing, validating. Okay, so there's no argument. Then I say to them, can I ask you a question? Sure. You have a job? Yeah. How long have you been doing it? 20 years. Awesome. How many times have you been late for work in the morning? Never. How many times you just blew off work and not go to it? Never. Sounds pretty committed to me.
Mm-hmm.
How about your kids? You go grocery shopping? Yeah. How many times you told the kids, we didn't grocery shop, nothing to eat? Never. Sounds pretty committed to me. Sounds to me like you're a pretty committed, awesome, can do it type of person. You may not be committing to this, but you are committed. See, when people say that, they can't stick with things or whatever, very, very first thing I'm going to do is show them that, yes, you can. You may not be sticking to this, but you can stick to things. You've got to get locked in your brain and in your heart that you're right. Oh, yeah, you know what? It is me. It's not who I am. It's what I'm doing. It's not who I am. It's what I'm doing. Big difference. You've got to believe that. And again, I can point out to them logically that there are things they're committed to. There are things they stick with. There are things that they do.
It's about mindset okay? And perception.
Now, the next thing that I'm going to shift over to them, and this is going to be probably one of the biggest steps for people, is will you get yourself locked into, committed to a system, a personal trainer, a counselor, a group that you're going to go to on a weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever basis that you're going to get fed, and reminded, and you're going to do that activity that you're not committed to. You got to get in church. You got to get into a hope group. You got to get into a Bible study. You got to get into activities, a personal trainer, something that is hitting you 2-3 times a week that is bringing you back on track, until you've developed, that habit that you want to. So first you got to realize that it is what you're doing. It's not you. And then this is the tricky part, because if you're going to sit here by yourself and not be willing to get committed to someone that's going to lead you and hold you accountable, now it's going to be tricky. Then
that's back to creating a routine, right?
Amen. That's like, in fact, I remember people would come in and quit at the gym. I'd say, can I ask you a goofy question? Yeah. So if you had it your way, are you ready to quit because you don't want to do it? You reached all your hopes and dreams and goals? Or if you had it your way, would you be using the gym 3 or 4 times a week and reaching your fitness goals? They'll always say they wish they're reaching it. Go, then why don't we develop a plan for that? That's what you need to do, not quit. So like, so realizing, I tell you, coming back to this all the time, realizing that it's you that's the problem. Not your hometown, not the color you are, not the race, not the sex, not the whatever. Okay? So here's an interesting trick. Here's a piece where I think if people scrapped everything, scrapped all their gurus, never listened to James Rice, never anything, and they did one thing, this to me would be the most important thing to do, is they've got to switch who their judge and jury is. They have got to switch where their self-esteem comes, who their judge and jury is. Because most of us, it's our parents or spouse. So when I went, you know what? I think I'm pretty sure I have a creator, and he has a plan for me. When he's my judge. When my dad's my judge. You can't have them both. You can't serve both of them. So once I understood and firmly believed that I was created, this is just for me. I'm creating his likeness for something bigger and better. And I was like, oh, wow, sorry, Dad. You may judge me, but you're no different than Higgy. You're no bigger than Steffi. You're no different than anyone on the street. Those are just opinions. Now, if Higgy's talking to me about recovery with his experience, he has credibility. I'll listen. When my dad speaks to me on being an engineer or his travels in Michigan, or his investment because he has experience, I'll listen. But when he talks to me about sports or what I'm doing or relationships or being polite and kind, well, he has no credibility, so it makes no sense. It's not logical. So so it freed me. My parents did not take a 4-year class going, let's prep for raising kids. They probably got drunk, had sex, and I came out. That's your judge and jury? People, logically, that makes no sense. How can they have so much power? Because they're my parents. Who cares? You care. That's your decision. I mean, my dad, unfortunately, and my mom, they're just people. They're just people.
Yep.
Who, again, had sex, unplanned for kids, made us, and now you think they should be the ones who you build your self-esteem from. That makes no sense. And then you get a dipshit spouse who belittles and demeans you because they're insecure, because their parents are the judge and jury, and you think that guy or lady should be your people.
Right?
That'd be like if your kids were playing soccer and the football coach never played soccer, came on and were telling your kids to play soccer. You wouldn't give a shit what he said.
Right.
You would not care. When someone comes on and tells me, and they're out of shape in every area of their life, and they want to tell me about my pyramid scheme, about my community, about my ketones. When a midget comes up to me or a small person and tells me I'm short, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. That's his opinion or her opinion. You know what I mean? And someone skinny kid, 130 pounds, comes up in the gym and tells me that I'm not strong enough. Okay, I'm good. Why? Because they don't have any credibility. So the credibility I gave my parents that credibility. Thank you, Jen. You know what I mean? You got to understand, people. You're giving somebody the keys to the castle. Okay, right. You're giving, and I'm just saying, I'm choosing a different kingdom in the castle. Okay, and so let's go back to where you're at. So once you realize that it's you that's making this decision, and that you can be committed, and that you do have what it takes, because I can show you in certain areas of your life you're doing it, you're just not doing it in this area. Now, logically, you have to realize, oh, I can do it. I just haven't done it. In fact, terrible story. When I got rolled in a business deal, 2 cars repossessed, 800 FICO score to a 580, lost all my cash trying to keep it alive. In that other turmoil, girlfriend and I broke up, moved out, 40, 50 bucks in my pocket, literally. And I was driving a friend's vehicle. Girl, good job, leads with her faith, believer, solid human, wanting to hang out with me, which I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to swear, that's completely effed up. Why would she? I'm not sure what she sees. And I even had, in the place I was living in with my friends, my friend said, don't worry about it. We've been friends for 10, 15 years. Just pay me rent when you can afford it. And we're talking $400.
Right.
Not $1,500. Pay me when you can. That's how broke I was. Okay. And somewhere in there, from this new girlfriend friend of mine, I borrowed $400 for rent from her. That's impressive right there. That'll win them over.
Right.
So let me get this straight, dude. You're driving a friend's vehicle. We don't have money to do anything fun, and you're borrowing rent from me. I think you're winning. Now, you may think she was a dipshit. She wasn't. I said to her, what were you thinking? I love this. This about brings tears to my eyes. She goes, I saw where you were, not who you. That was not who you were. That was where you were.
Beautiful.
And so that's what, this gets me right here. This gets me goosebumps. That's what I see in people. What you're doing, this is who you're not an alcoholic, you're drinking, and that's what you're labeled, but that's not who you are.
Absolutely.
You're heavy and out of shape, and you're eating, and you're not an emotional eater. There's no fucking such thing. That's what you're doing. That's not who you are. You're heavy and out of shape, you're skinny and out of shape, you're broken. That's not who you are. That's what you're doing. For me, you're a child of God made in his likeness. That's who you are. That's it. So once you realize that and you see that in people, then if you don't have a heart for sharing your goods and what you have, then you're a selfish asshole and I can't help you.
Right.
That's what you need to see in people, because that's what someone saw in me. Okay? They didn't see a dropout. They didn't see a tiny dipshit with no muscles. They didn't see a kid that broken with no relationship from his parents. They didn't see a person who was going to be married for only 5 years and five whatever's later, 5 counselors later, and broken and not get to see his daughter. And now he works with his daughter on a regular basis. They didn't see the brokenness in me. They saw what I had the ability to be. And I fortunately was wise enough to go, fuck, maybe they're right. Shit, maybe because science says it and whatever, maybe I can get muscles. Maybe if I go to the study groups, I can get a degree. Maybe if I see that my father is broken from his parents being divorced when he was in 2nd grade, and his mom being a drunk and being raised from family to family, and I have empathy and compassion for him, then I can be the one who mends that relationship. My father was just out here visiting for 2 weeks.
Beautiful.
You've got to understand, Saul became Paul. That's all you need to know. There's nothing more. I don't want to talk about anything else. Saul became Paul. And if you believe that, then you believe that change happens. Then how does it happen? It goes because, wow, higher power in the gym, higher power in my business, higher power in my hobbies, higher power in my family, higher power. Shut the fuck up and listen and do. But you got to believe. You got to believe.
Thanks, Chris.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but
Sure does.
I believe that this is funny. I do not believe life is hard. I do not believe life is hard. I believe that my stupid ass decisions make it hard.
Right.
And so therefore, logically, if I'm willing to humble myself, go into the gym, a small broken dude, go back to college with a B, a C, and 2 Fs, respond to my daughter 7 years later on Facebook, and then schedule a meeting with her at the coffee shop and say, hey, you know what? It's been a long time. My goal is to be here in our relationship. I'll answer any questions you have. I just want to be able to step at a time and take it at your pace. Okay? Everything can be remade and grown. You know? And now that's the crazy bastard I am. I just believe in all of it. It starts with believing and understanding, oh, that's not what I'm doing. Or that's what I'm doing. That's not who I am. I need to submit. And be teachable and trainable to people who are doing it at a higher level, and then never quit. James Rice spends his time on his faith, fitness, family, friendships, and finances. Not on my running a marathon. Not on my showing you some trophies. Not on showing you what James Rice won. Not on showing you my team won on Sunday. That's not me. That's the team.
We're coming up on the hour, and I got more stuff that I want to throw in the conversation, but we can do it again next week. Are you down to do this next Saturday?
Yeah, if you guys will listen, still have me.
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. People need to hear what you have to say. Please follow James Rice on Facebook. James Rice to Your Purpose is scrolling at the bottom.
Potential.
To your potential.
To Your Potential. James Rice to Your Potential on Instagram and Facebook, and coming to YouTube soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel.
Do
Firing
you?
it all up. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a guru or know-it-all. Dude, all I'm just sharing is here's the instructions. Anybody can do it. That's the funny thing. Anybody can do it.
And
cool. All right, I'll jump off. I'll shut up.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I'm a nobody that feels like he's somebody today. And
Amen.
Other people need to hear the message you have to say and your A-team quotes.
Let me see what's possible.
Oh, dude, I can remember it vividly.
Repeat after me. It is possible, right?
Oh, it is for sure. All right, I'll let you just go. We'll do it again. Just go out there and love some people and just listen to them and say, you know what? I might be able to help you. You know what?
Are you willing at some point to
Yes.
do a talk on
Yes.
entrepreneurship, how to get
Yes.
started, how to find what your
Yes.
niche is and whatnot?
Yes. Let's do it.
That's why I love you. You're willing and you're open. And
Yeah, that's what got me in most of my trouble too.
Me too.
Anyway.
Hey, James Rice. Hey, James. Amy Morrison.
What up, Amy? Long time
I
no
love you,
see.
Amy.
Love to see your name.
Nicole.
Hit me. Let's do something. Let's change a few lives and
Hi,
make some miracles
sis.
happen.
But please go follow James. He's got a lot of great content up, and he speaks from his heart. And he doesn't mince his words. You know, it's pretty black and white. If you don't like what he has to say, go on to someone else.
Very easy to interact with.
I knew you were going to laugh.
I never. That's the best because, again, when people are ready to rock and roll, it's a funny thing, right? When you want to get warmed up, you're ready to come closer to the fire. When you don't, you're like, oh, I got to get away from the fire. I'll just stand back here. Yeah, right. Everybody wants to be cold away from the fire. No, they don't. And so, you know, when people are ready to rock, they come closer to James Rice. When I disappear, then I usually know they have something happening, you know, because it's the same with me. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to go to my study groups. I didn't want to go to near the gym people or take your shirt off or whatever when you're tiny, you're broke. I understand people. I've been there, done it. I've been there, done it. It's easy. You just run away from the accountability. Run away from the accountability. Like fish, right? Oh, predator, run away. But when you're ready, then you come to the table. And I mean, the funny thing is I'm just speaking people's language. It was just, show me how you got successful. It was black and white, no sugarcoating it. It was doing it. It's the same for everything. All right. I love each and every one of you. We got to jump off. We got to quit talking.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hey, check out the Survivor Series Tuesday when my guest will be Hick Cheramy. He's a professional actor. He's been in a lot of shows that you don't even realize he's been in. He's in recovery. He's got a great inspirational testimony. And I hope to see you guys there Tuesday. Thank you, James Rice. Go follow James Rice at James Rice to Your Potential on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you again next Saturday, James. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Love you.
I can get this to end.